ESPN published an article earlier today that went into detail about the power struggle within the Buss family. It talks about specifically how Jeanie Buss went behind her younger brother's backs to get the Lakers sold to the current owner, who I believe his name is Mark Walters. That happened like a few months ago when the sale went down. But the article talks about what she did to maneuver behind the scenes to get it done. What really sticks out in this article is how she felt about LeBron James and his time with the Lakers. I'm just going to read out this excerpt from it and then I'm going to comment on it. And team sources told ESPN she even began to turn against the Lakers' star player, LeBron James. Jeanie privately grumbled. People close to the team say about what she felt was James' outsized ego and the overt control that he and Clutch Sports, which represents both James and Anthony Davis, exerted over the organization at times. She didn't like that James was considered a savior for a floundering franchise when he arrived in 2018, and that it was he who chose the Lakers rather than the team's leadership receiving praise for landing him. Team sources have been adamant for years that James' camp informed the Lakers as early as 2017 that he was coming to join them when he became a free agent the following year. The distance between Jeanie and James widened after the Lakers trade for Russell Westbrook in July 2021. People close to the team said the team that had made the trade in an effort to appease James, but the acquisition backfired in catastrophic fashion. LA went 33-49 and missed the playoffs, and James seemed to wash his hands of his role in the acquisition. Jeanie privately bristled about what she felt was his lack of accountability and the way James would shift blame onto others after the Westbrook trade, the people said. In 2022, in the aftermath of the Westbrook trade, multiple people said Jeanie privately mused about not giving James a contract extension. And later that year, even about trading James with the LA Clippers floated as a possibility. And when the Lakers drafted James' son, Bronny, with the 55th pick in the 2024 draft, Jeanie privately remarked that James should be grateful for such a gesture, but she felt that he wasn't. People close to the team told ESPN. That summer, as she discussed a new contract for James, Jeanie seemed more resigned to the fact that they had to do it, almost begrudgingly accepting that they'd take a massive PR hit by not doing so. So, yeah, a few things I want to break down about this. First thing I had to say, of course, the Lakers should not get any credit for landing LeBron. That just shows again how much of a bimbo Jeanie Buss is. That's no skill that you're able to get LeBron to come down there. That's definitely no talent at all. The Lakers never should get credit for landing free agents, I feel, because LA is like the glamour location of the NBA. So you didn't choose LeBron. LeBron chose you. And I say this as someone who doesn't even like LeBron, that you don't get any credit for that. LeBron orchestrated that move there. You had nothing to do with it. The Lakers were a crappy team before LeBron signed with them. They were a lottery team for, I believe, like several seasons before LeBron signed with them. There was nothing appealing about the Lakers. There was no allure about them. Jeanie's ego was just hurt that she didn't get credit for that move. But let's be real. No player is just going to sign with the Lakers because of Jeanie Buss. They're not going to be like, oh, wow, Jeanie's just the reason why I wanted to be there. That to me was pretty stupid. Now, here's where I can go in on LeBron. I can definitely understand Jeanie hating how Clutch Sports and LeBron had so much control over the organization. But I blame Jeanie and the organization for giving them that control. They could have put their foot down on the ground and drew up boundaries with how much influence LeBron had within the organization. They had that right, but they pandered to him. They submitted to him. That's all on them for that one. It doesn't take away from LeBron being a rotten person. Sure, two things could be true, that the Lakers were weak and LeBron abused them. Neither look good in this situation. Now, I can get Jeanie being upset at LeBron also about the Russell Westbrook trade, because that was a dumb trade to make to appease LeBron. I think we all could see it from 100 miles away that Westbrook was a bad addition for the Lakers. I knew at the time it wasn't going to work out, like, because it never works out with Westbrook wherever he goes. It's pretty predictable. This guy is not a guy who could play winning basketball in a system. It's very hard for him to do that. Look at what's going on with Sacramento right now. He's bad. I feel Jokic actually made him look good last year in the Nuggets system. He did something very few guys can do. But I get it. I get Jeanie being upset at LeBron, especially not being grateful for that move that she had made and getting Westbrook, and then blaming her and the Lakers for making that dumb move to wash his hands of it. So I can definitely agree with her on that one. She had a right to be angry at him. LeBron was the typical narcissist in the situation, deflecting accountability and putting it all on her when he wanted this move. And I would also say getting Bronny, that was another move that they made to acquiesce LeBron, and she had every right to be upset about that too, that LeBron still didn't seem grateful for what she had done, which I get. I definitely understand that. I think what's interesting about the Bronny move, I think that was like the final straw, I feel, for Jeanie and the Lakers when you think about it on a deep level, because they had appeased him with that move, and he still wasn't happy with what was going on with the Lakers, LeBron, that is. And Anthony Davis, I remember, started complaining right after Bronny was drafted about how the Lakers need to get a center. LeBron, I think, was complaining about the same things. And that was really starting to ruffle Jeanie's feathers, which I get, because, again, you're pandering to LeBron. You're giving him everything. You drafted his scrub son, and he's still not happy about it. He still wants more. Typical narcissist. I think that's the one that really broke the camel's back, as they say. I think that's also what led the Lakers to go behind LeBron's back to get Luka, where they're just like, fuck it. We're done with this guy. We are ready to replace him. Let's see if we can steal a superstar like we always do since we're the Lakers, which resulted in them trading Anthony Davis behind LeBron's back. Now I'm really starting to believe that LeBron had no influence about this trade for Luka, and that Jeanie and company did this to spite LeBron and also to find a new franchise superstar to build around. I definitely believe this now. I remember LeBron and company were trying to pretend at times that they were behind this, and no one knew who was telling the truth. It was this weird game of bluffs last year when that trade went down. Ultimately, it seemed to me that LeBron never wanted this trade. He wanted to keep a dummy, my nickname for Anthony Davis, and that trade was not something he had ordered. So I think now we're starting to see that is true, that he wasn't behind this. So yeah, it's definitely interesting that Jeanie submitted to LeBron for a long period of time. Ever since he signed with the Lakers, I felt she submitted to him from, what year did he sign with the Lakers? I think it was summer of 2018. Yeah, it was summer of 2018. He signed with the Lakers. And for a 6-year period, she was doing whatever LeBron told her to do. And then after 2024, that's when the game flipped and she started going against LeBron. And well, I guess better later than never, right? I guess I'll give her that. But then again, I think it was obvious to everybody LeBron was a drag on the franchise, and Jeanie, like a typical bimbo, figured it out when it was too late. I still don't respect her, because she could have refused to give LeBron an extension a few years ago and just let him walk, take the hit. But she didn't. So the Lakers are dragged into this mess with LeBron the last few years, in which I feel like they're wasting their fans' time. And they're wasting the players' time with the Lakers, because everyone knows LeBron is not going to be here long term. This season is a waste. It's a waste. I'm calling it now. The Lakers are not going to go to the finals. It's not happening. The season is just a complete waste. That it didn't necessarily have to be that way. They could have gotten rid of LeBron during the summertime or tried to trade him or do something else. Heck, even buy him out. But I think the Lakers saw the dollar signs with keeping LeBron for one final year and just decided to live with it. So I'm not disputing this article. I think two things can be true: that Jeanie felt disrespected and LeBron was controlling the Lakers. That both are true. Still, both are dumb people, if you're asking me. Like Jeanie just for being a bimbo, and LeBron just for being a narcissist, a person who's delusional. But I don't have anything else to say about this.